Welcome to the Hurricane Communication Network. I'm Patrick Trahan with the Office of Mayor Bill White. I'm here along with Cindy Gabriel to offer information to our evacuee community that will hopefully help you make important decisions at this time in your life. Whether you think of yourselves as new Houstonians or temporary Houstonians, we hope this program and future ones will give you information you need to make important and good plans for your future.
About 10 months ago, over 150,000 residents of New Orleans found themselves on Houston's doorstep, wondering where their lives had taken them. It was not only an historical national crisis, but also a very personal crisis for each and every individual affected. A few weeks after Katrina, another large hurricane, Rita, hit Texas, leaving many residents in our own state unable to return home.
Some found housing on their own, but most found housing through the Joint Hurricane Housing Task Force. Evacuees of Katrina and Rita have occupied some 34,000 housing units in the Houston area, many with only the clothes on their back. Families were separated. Not only did they need housing, they needed clothes, food, electricity, and many of the other things that were left behind. Their support system and family and friends were gone. The City of Houston, Harris County, FEMA, and other agencies came together in the Astrodome and quickly came up with a plan to get people into a shelter. Houston's landlord community rallied and agreed to take in those suddenly homeless people without deposits, credit checks, or any of the usual guarantees that go with leasing housing. There are many heroes in this story, but it's far from over.
Our new residents are left with many questions, starting with where do I go from here? We will use this program as a way to update you with information that is important to you.
A lot of changes have occurred recently in our housing program. No doubt many of them are confusing. You and your landlords have been receiving a series of letters from both the Joint Hurricane Housing Task Force and FEMA relating to changes in our program.
You are hearing words like 403 and 408, eligible and ineligible. 403 and 408 are simply FEMA programs that are meant to help victims of natural disasters. Eligible and ineligible are FEMA terms that describe whether or not you, the natural disaster victim, can continue to receive FEMA money for housing assistance.
The program run by the city through the Joint Hurricane Housing Task Force, the first one you were in, is called 403. Basically, FEMA is switching the program over to a new way of paying landlords. In the process, FEMA is reviewing their records and deciding who does and does not qualify for the next phase of the program. That's the 408 Individuals and Households program.
The good news is that most do qualify. The majority of your landlords now are registered with Corporate Lodging Consultants, CLC, the company FEMA has hired to pay your rent as long as you qualify and continue in the program. Some of you, however, qualify for direct payment from FEMA. This is another version of 408. FEMA sends the rent money to you and you then pay your landlord directly. It is extremely important that you use this money to pay your monthly rent promptly.
Whatever 408 program you are in, you will from time to time get letters from FEMA asking you to complete and return paperwork. You may be given a form titled Declaration of Housing Plan and Request for Continued Assistance. It is extremely important that you fill that form out and any attached requested information. If FEMA does not get that form back from you, you could lose your housing benefits.
A third group remains in our Joint Hurricane Housing Task Force program. That's the original program where you got a voucher, found an apartment, signed a lease, and the City of Houston paid your landlord. That program is slowly being phased out into one of two FEMA payment programs, if FEMA decides you are eligible.
Another group for the first time is receiving letters saying that July 31st is the last day their rent will be paid. Starting August 1st, FEMA has decided that over 4,000 evacuees must start paying rent on their own. This represents a major shift in our program, and we know a scary situation for some of you. So what are your options if you have been asked to pay your own rent starting August 1st?
Option number one, you may appeal FEMA's decision. You must do this immediately by calling FEMA. The number is 1-800-621-FEMA or 3362. Be prepared to take notes when you call. FEMA will give you instructions on how to appeal, and you may also visit our website for instructions, www.houstonhurricanerecovery.org. Click on the green tab on the left that says Evacuees, then click on Ineligible Evacuees Approaching Appeal Deadline. You should receive 30 days notice in most cases before you are asked to move. For this reason, it is important that you act quickly.
Some aid is also being offered for those who need help with appeals. That number is Hurricane Legal Aid 1-800-568-3857. Call this number and someone will schedule you for a clinic where you get assistance in filling out your paperwork for an appeal.
It may be that your rental assistance will run out before your appeal is final. If this happens, you still must make plans to pay rent on your own starting August 1st. So what if you have tried the appeals process and you're still ineligible? Option number 2, meet with your landlord and arrange for a new lease in your name, which you pay starting August 1st. Or if that's not possible, option number 3, find new housing. Whether the housing program is ending for you soon or sometime in the future, it is important that you begin to make plans to pay for your housing another way. It may be that for now, you just need a plan. Counselors and caseworkers are available to work with you by providing you with important information about social services available that may help in planning your future. You may find them by simply dialing 211. Again, under the Evacuee tab on the website will be some information regarding updated information on conditions in New Orleans.
Now another issue, utilities. You have received letters about utility payments and may be confused. Some of you are paying your own utilities and some of you are not. If your utility bills are currently being paid, they will probably continue to be paid through July 31st. A bill has passed in Congress that will probably extend utility payments for all evacuees who started in our program beyond July 31st. We do not have information available on how that plan will work at this time. We will let you know about that in further programs and on our website.
If you are an evacuee receiving our housing, you probably at one time came to the original Disaster Recovery Center that was located off of 610 and Wayside. One of the first people to greet you was Mr. Eartha Stacy. His face may look familiar. Now Mr. Stacy and the crew from the Disaster Recovery Center have a new location called the Joint Hurricane Housing Task Force Support Center. The Support Center is located at 10565 Katy Freeway at the corner of Beltway 8 on the 4th floor. Now, Mr. Stacy has a word for you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my Katrina friends. We haven't seen one another in quite a while. I'm at a new location now, the Service Center. The number here is 713-715-6500. If you decide to leave our program, we would love to stay in touch. Will you please give us a call with your voucher information?
And if you have internet access, don't forget our website, www.houstonhurricanerecovery.org.
In the future, we'll not only keep you up to date on the current housing program you're in, but we'll also give you the best information available as you plan your future. Whether you're currently in our program or whether you are about to leave, the time to look ahead is now. We will do everything we can to provide information here on this program that could help point you and your family to a brighter future. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned now for a special announcement about the times and places you can view this program in the future. We wish the best of you on your road to recovery. I'm Patrick Trahan along with Cindy Gabriel. Goodbye for now.
See you soon.
Hurricane Communications Network viewing times. Channel 17, Warner Cable, We the People TV, the public access channel. Tuesdays, 12:30 a.m., 10 a.m., and 4 p.m. Wednesdays, 12:30 a.m. Fridays, 10 a.m., 4 p.m. And Channel 16, the municipal channel, Mondays, 12 noon, 6 p.m. Wednesdays, 1:30 p.m., 7:30 p.m. before Focus and Council. Fridays, 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. before the committee meeting.